स्पॉटलाइट में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट अमीता। Join us weekly to get enlightened on the path towards positive change. Passion fuels hard work towards our goals and eventually success. However, obstacles make our passions wax and wane. Some of us get disheartened and quit. Today we'll be inspired by a leader who has been persistent. He's a busy professional, yet he makes time for his passion, cricket. It's with pleasure I welcome to our show Mr. Amit Ohri. आपका स्वागत है Spotlight में.
Thank you very much, Amitha.
So this is great. We're going to hear about how your passion for cricket has turned into an initiative called Just Cricket. But उससे पहले कुछ जानेंगे आपके बारे में. Tell us a little bit more about your growing up, your education.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was born and raised in the UK. I was about 3 years old when I started to get an idea of watching cricket on TV. And then I went to India for a short period because my parents tried to settle out there, right? And then what happened was I got into cricket at that point. I wasn't settling down. I was in a different environment compared to the UK. And then from that point onwards, I think I was getting teased by local street cricketers. And then at that point, I think something happened where a ball came to me. I threw the ball so far just naturally that they got very surprised and shocked by that. And then they said, "Have you ever played cricket? Hindi mein baat ki unhone." So I said, "No, I've never played." And then at that point, they said, "Okay, let's give you a bat." And they brought one of their main bowlers, I suppose, and they wanted to, just humiliate me a little bit more if they could. At that point, it is what
bullying.
it is.
Yeah, you experienced bullying.
But for some reason, I was just at that point where I just wanted to fit in to the society at that point, at that age, and have some friends. So when that ball approached, there was a bouncer. A bouncer is when they pitch the ball short, and it's literally coming for you, towards the head. And it was a hard ball. It wasn't a soft ball or anything, no protection, nothing.
Yeah.
But there was something inside of me that I just wanted to just play the game or fit in. And I ended up just hitting it so far, it cleared the whole block. So, from that point onwards, respect was gained. Right? And then after that, I made so many friends and then whatnot, and then got involved with cricket deeply at that point. And but unfortunately, 2 or 3 years later, my parents couldn't settle for whatever reason. This is in Delhi, North India, and so we returned back to the UK, and I was pretty young still. But I came back as like a fine-tuned athlete, with the hand-eye coordination, and that pretty much got me into sport in a very deep level. And people started recognizing that at school, primary school, into middle school, high school. And I became part of several teams, like, you're talking about cricket, ping pong, hockey, volleyball,
a full-on sportsman.
6, 7 teams I was part of. And I gained a recognition and award at that age from the entire school and the principals and whatnot. So I was recognized with the raw talent that I had. So that was a good phase of my life. And then obviously, because of the cricket, it got me more recognition on club and grassroots level in England. I mean, it operates quite differently to Canada.
Okay.
Because there is an infrastructure, especially for a cricketing nation like the UK, right? So from that point, I think I got a lot of good, solid coaching from the Surrey Colts section, under 12s, 13s, 16s. I even had a little period with Surrey as well. But then at that time, I was pretty much a pace bowler I became. But they just said, look, you can even become a batsman. Your hand-eye coordination is so good. And why didn't you try doing that? So when I put my focus into that, I started becoming like a top-end batsman, working my way all the way up. And then from there, wicket-keeping, just being an all-round fielder.
Just a start.
Just a passion, because I respect all components of that. And then injuries became a problem. And then luckily I was still, educating well in the UK. Went to Westminster University, 4-year program there. I was traveling in between, working like a student would, just to keep
Wow,
things
a
going.
full plate.
Just the extra full plate,
Yeah.
But that's just me. Like, I want to do everything I can because I know that
You
time
wanted a
is,
full life, it sounds like it.
just go with the flow, right? And then make the time for cricket.
Ah, wow.
I think
because
that
it's the passion, but it also sounds like it's in your genes because...
No, none of my family members ever, like even,
Oh, wow, okay.
aunts, uncles, none of that side.
Then you have a gene mutation. You
Must be a crazy mutation for cricket, especially. It turned into
Not just
that.
for cricket, for everything, living life to the fullest.
Right, and I'm on top of that a Man United supporter. Can you believe that, right?
Oh, wow, wow,
So,
wow.
We're not going through a great period right now, but sport is a love of my life, in general. And
So you never let go of it, like you said. You are educated and
Yes.
in a different field, and a professional, but never let go of the passion of cricket.
No,
And
I
then,
didn't.
how did you bring that passion to Canada?
Well, the funny thing is, when I migrated to Canada in 2001, I was very young still, came by myself, right? And what happened was I did come across one or two people that when there was some interest just to see what was going on. But back then, I really didn't see much. Like, honestly, grounds, infrastructure-wise, I was a bit let down, maybe disappointed.
So
it's not the
compared
same
to
as
the
England,
UK.
is it? Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I'm comparing it.
It's like
to something I've
it's
been
more
part of.
regulated there, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, like it's got everything that you would dream of, right? And people who've been there, maybe as overseas players, would understand what I'm saying. And you can go to other countries like even India, South Africa, Australia, Sri Lanka. You go to these places, they have, I guess, more of an infrastructure because they've been playing it more. It's a mainstream sport. On top of that, in North America, we have basketball, baseball, right? You've got ice hockey in Canada, things like that. So they've been around for a long time. And that's where the society generally takes a huge interest, especially on media, right? So cricket, I guess, is still, coming up.
But that's changing now because you're bringing your experience into the Canadian cricket scene. So we're going to find out more about what you have done to start the change. But
Sure.
before that,
Sure.
it's time for a short break. Spotlight में फिर से आपका स्वागत है. We are talking to Mr. Amit Ohri. So this is great. We have heard about your background. And now tell us how your passion for cricket has never died and now you're changing the scene here in Canada.
It's an interesting question. I mean, passion is something that you cannot control and it never dies. Right? It's like breathing. If I were to put
we
it
need
that
more
way.
like you.
If you stop breathing, everything's gone, right? So
True.
passion is the same thing. But for me, because of cricket and my background and the way it saved me, I suppose, and the friendships and the things that books do not teach you, moving around with people, communicating on the field, off the field, teamwork, that I got from cricket. And my communication skills maybe portray that. But as far as just cricket is concerned, what happened was my parents live in Mississauga, I do too. But they happen to live across a recreational facility where there's apparently a very nice ground that came up a few years ago. I wasn't aware of this. There was noise and whatnot happening that day. This is in July, summertime. And I wanted to go and check it out. So where's all this noise coming from? And I decided to go across to this park and I was shocked. I saw kids. I saw tons of people just playing the game. And there was this AstroTurf pitch, which you play cricket on, which I guess is the norm here. But there was coaching going on, and I was just absolutely shocked by it. I said, "Oh no, what have I missed? Like, how comes I'm seeing this after 18 years? Of disappointment before. Why haven't I seen this before?" Right. So I think I went up to some of the coaches because what I was seeing was there could be an improvement in the way they were teaching the sport and to the kids, and the parents were there and whatnot. But they were saying that, you have to have certain qualifications, formal qualifications to be a coach. So experience may not be enough, which I find a bit strange because if you don't have the passion and the experience which I've got, maybe you should try me out at least, maybe you could do that. But then after that discussion, I decided, okay, let me do some further investigation. I went online. I tried to contact a couple of boards, right? And then from that point, I got one or two people saying, look, if you've got the passion and you've got the experience, there should be no one telling you whether you can coach or not. If you have a connection, and you can make a connection with people, if you're a friendly personality, that would go a long way, especially with kids. And then the juniors,
connect,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, you connect, right? So
It almost sounds like you were experiencing a different form of bullying here. You know,
I keep getting bullied.
but the amazing thing is that didn't stop you.
It can't. You
Right?
have to
So-
find a way, right? That's what
Yeah.
disheartens most people, is that if they can't get through one roadblock, they think there's no detour. There's always a detour. You just have to investigate that or research it.
Yeah.
So I'm good at that level, right?
Well, there are few like you who think that way. So you're
thank
one
you.
of those where there's a will, there's a way.
There has to be. For
There
cricket, anything is possible. That's my attitude.
Love it.
The positive attitude, the positive discipline that this thing can teach you. It's not just a sport. It's not just about ball or bat or the field or pleasure all the time, excitement. There's been so many different variations of the sport in the last 10 years, especially like T20, 25, obviously the World Cup, international, 50 over one days. But the Test cricket, people seem to have forgotten about until recently. The English and the Australians, the Test series. Even Ben Stokes, like major players, were saying that this is something, even after winning the World Cup, was saying this was something else, right? This is that feeling, that Test cricket, that challenge between the best bowler, the best batsman, and that rivalry. It's the best feeling of the sport.
So I guess it's been forgotten in the scenes here, and you are bringing it back.
I
now.
mean, yeah,
So
absolutely.
tell us about Just Cricket.
So Just Cricket is an awareness system. It's an initiative for bringing correct cricket, I suppose, to the forefront, back from where it used to be.
The roots.
Right? The roots, right? And then I'm educating people. Online, I've got a channel, right? Facebook, for example, Just Cricket, go to that. And I'm putting all the basic foundational elements of cricket, the rules, how you should be playing the game, what good line and length means, how to play certain strokes, what front foot technique is, what back foot is, how you should be thinking. Because a lot of people think about cricket as just basically being a more physical sport, right? But it isn't. It's actually control from here. And you've got to be in the zone mentally in order to play the game. And that's where your teammate on the wicket also plays a part in building that partnership up. Most people, T25 for example, I have to hit a 6 or I have to hit a 4 to be recognised. Like Chris Gayle is a great example, right? He's a very entertaining player. When he hits the ball, they're going for 6s or 4s regularly, right? So for me, it's disheartening, isn't it, for the bowler to be, getting hit like that. But Test cricket, when you play on a turf, real situation wicket like that, you will see a difference, what the ball does, and to help the bowler, for example, and it's not so easy anymore. Whereas what I'm experiencing here in Canada with the AstroTurf is that it doesn't really assist the bowler much, especially off spin or leg spin, or that kind of bowling technique too. And it doesn't really offer much assistance to the bowler, unfortunately. So
Wow, these are like real, specific insight tips.
technical details, but they are very meaningful for the people who've been around for 20, 30 years. The boards, the regulatory. I'm still learning. I mean, this only came up in end of July this year. This is something that I decided to get further into.
Which is great. So now the people will get, as you said, the true professional, tips, experience, coaching. So what does Just Experience offer? Just Cricket offer?
No, that's just cricket offers anyone who has a passion to learn, regardless of age or gender or political bias or any money. I train for free right now.
Wow.
I've got a couple of trainees already who couldn't hold a bat, for example, a couple of weeks ago, and now I've got them facing 80 plus miles an hour.
Whoa. Okay, that's
Right?
a quick turnaround.
Yeah, because they're listening to what I have to say and getting them in that zone, like I said. So I have this way of connecting. And then in recent times, start of September, for example, there was a college cricket tournament at King City, Ontario, which is supposed to be a renowned facility for major matches, for example. And there was a women's final that I was very intrigued to go and have a look at myself. So when I got there, there was a semi-finals and a finals to be played. There were 4 women's teams. I think Ryerson, Wilfred Laurier, and a couple of other teams, which I can't quite remember, but they happened to be there. But what I was amazed to see was this, Amitha, right? It was, they had teams, but they were still short of members. All of the teams members could not make it for their teams for whatever reason. But the passion in the ladies, I've never seen this even in the men's side, generally, right? They started to help each other. Even the opposition team came into the women's main team, and then they started to play with each other, but also against some of their own teammates, just so that the function of the tournament could carry on.
Wow. So it caught your eye, and it has gone on to a very good initiative through Just Cricket. We're going to find out more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. It's exciting talking to the passionate Amit Ohri. I'm getting excited, seeing your passion exude through.
Oh,
Even
you.
like previously, I was so excited, I called it Just Experience, because you had to just experience cricket with Just Cricket. So tell us about this exciting opportunity now you're provided to the women when you notice the women.
I got to thank the women, in fact, for bringing the passion to me.
Oh, wow.
All right,
Okay.
I'll give them that much, because when I saw the ladies, just basically playing, what happened at that time was a couple of the ladies, most of the team members were on the side, and then 2 batswomen were on the field batting. But there was no cohesiveness between the team members, right? So they had their own discussions, the game is going on, and all I said was, ladies, help your team women, batswomen, play the game. Encourage them, because they were losing, really. They weren't doing much. So as soon as that started happening, the encouragement, you should have seen the results. I mean, they started winning, hitting the balls, running between the wickets. Everything was happening. From that to that, wow, what a change. And they ended up winning the semi-final. And this is
Wow,
Wilfred Laurier
nice.
at the time. So I said, great, this is wonderful. I went back to have my lunch. Next thing I know, the captain of Wilfred Laurier is coming up to me and saying, "Sir, would you mind guiding us for the finals?" I mean, how could you say no?
Especially
The
when
heart
it's
melts
cricket.
completely, right? Just
Yeah.
cricket, for anything for that. But the way I was asked, and by the warmth that I felt, I had to. And then as a result of that, more encouragement from the sidelines, encouragement as I know it. You should have seen, again, 4 or 5 fours on the last over to get 20-odd runs and to win the game.
Wow.
So there you go. I mean, and I said it was them, they were giving me credit. I said, no, this is you who
But
did
they
this.
needed that guiding light.
Well, that's
right?
what it is, yeah. That's what I do.
Okay, which is great. So what's upcoming with this women's team?
I am
That's
excited.
exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting, because I am planning on a UK tour based
Wow.
on my connections for mid-May next year.
Kudos to you.
And I do have a couple of women cricketers, great influences in Canada that are trying to help this initiative, because they think it will be great, because it hasn't been done maybe in a few years, or they're more localized, going to like the US or Bermuda or something, but not as big as what I'm hoping to give them experience-wise. So like you said, just experience, just cricket, that's what I want to bring to the ladies. Cricket.
Great. So where can our viewers find more information?
They can definitely find it on the social media for now, but justcricket.ca is the website that I've just started up. Very basic, but there will be forms, guidance, links towards this tour element. I'm just still gathering all the data to present on Facebook initially, and there's a closed group. So any women cricketers, please, just find Just Cricket. You can't miss us, you can't miss me. And then just approach, I would say, and then they'll get all the information in a few weeks.
Ladies, do it, because there's once in a while people invest in the women. They're all about investing in the men. So ladies, this is your opportunity. This is great. And again, kudos to you. This has happened within such a short time span, because like you said, you started just in July.
July, yeah.
And
End
look
of
at
July.
this.
Yeah.
Look at this, how far it's already come.
Well, that's because of the passion that's already there, you see, right? And it's coming to me to say, look, do something. So automatically, I just feel like doing it. That's it.
It's great. It's been great, listening to how passionate you are about actually everything that you do. We talked about cricket right now. So let me just digress for a bit. We heard about how cricket is not your first career. So tell us a little bit more about what else you do, what hobbies you have. Do you have time with family?
Yeah, I mean, my parents, I think without them, I wouldn't be here today, right? So I'm very close, especially to my mother. That was partly the reason why I came to Canada, so I can look after their future well-being, which successfully after all these years has taken fruition, basically, is panned out. But as far as my, personally I'm concerned, I would say soccer is my other love, especially Manchester United again, right? Watching, breathing, just carrying on with football. I've played football for many years as well as that, right? But any sport, snooker. I'm not sure how many people know about snooker. The days of Jimmy White, Willie Thorne, and Stephen Hendry, Steve Davis, again, all UK-based, mainly. But I was a big snooker player back in the day too.
So you're a full-on sportsman, like we heard even in the beginning. But what do you do, as we heard, it's in terms of your profession, your day-to-day profession?
Day-to-day, I'm an IT professional, and I've had that for, good 15 years. I've worked for companies like IBM as well, and been a consultant on networking level, got many accreditations, VMware, Microsoft, for example. Most people know about those companies.
Wow.
Also real estate investment and development and businesses and things like that on the side, just from passion, learning, exuberating what I know, and I continue to learn. I'm still learning.
Amazing. Maybe I should pose the question as to, Amit, what don't you do?
Maybe run a marathon. I'm not there yet, and maybe less eating, I suppose, because I'm a foodie, right?
Well, we all have our, passions. We all have our vices. It's okay. But this is great, Amit. It's been great talking to you today.
Thank you, Amitha.
Learning about your passion for cricket and what a great initiative you have taken on with just cricket. So just experience cricket with just cricket.
That's right.
I should make a jingle for you.
You should. Let me know when you're ready.
Let's do it sometime off
Definitely.
camera. But it's been great talking to you. Do you have any final words of advice for our viewers?
Yes. So I would say, look, if you have a passion, keep it alive. You don't get disheartened, too easily. I mean, it does happen in life, but passion is just something that doesn't die, right? So just keep doing what you're doing. If it feels right, you keep doing it.
Thank you very much for coming and talking to us today. We wish you all the best with everything that you do, especially just cricket.
Thank you very much, Amitha. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So that was Mr. Amit Ohri, who has inspired us to always go after our passions. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Thank you for watching us. Continue to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and write to us at spotlight@ethnicchannels.com. Until next week, this is Amitha encouraging you to enrich your life towards being fuller.